Hello, and welcome again to Redacted Nuisance, that 10 to 15 minutes of nonsense that you hear on Tinternet from me, Dr. J, use they as pronoun. Um, and why is it called Redacted Nuisance? Because if I called it Queer Nuisance, it would be banned in so many places and people would not be able to listen to it. So it's called Redacted Nuisance. And what it is it's me rambling for about 10 to 15 minutes about a topic that I have randomly chosen from my brain. And I don't even listen back to it, I just post it up. The most listening back I do is I do a quick scan to try to figure out what I talked about, if I've forgotten what I talked about before I put it up. So, what I wanted to quickly touch on here as this goes flying past is I spoke at an event, and it was about a space that I was in 17 years ago, and it showed a film that I was in, and we talked about some of it. And then somebody who was there, who was also around 17 years ago, posted up about how sad it was that there isn't that community around these days. And I just want to say, absolute fucking bollocks. That community does exist and it is around. It's just bigger and stronger and far more interesting than it ever was, and it's not stuck in the basement, a basement that reeked of piss. It's not stuck in the pub above the basement that reeked of piss. It's not in only one small club that's on maybe once a month. It is a vibrant community that is on in multiple spaces that has been around and in the last 17 years has grown magnificently. And I think one of the things that we forget, maybe as queer elders, as people who occasionally run out of the energy to go out and do stuff, is that life continues on without us, but also the young people queers will find the spaces to pop up. We are the glittery cockroaches of the world. And that sounds like I'm being insulting, but we're not. We will survive. We will find a space. We will make a space. You don't have to give us space. We will take it and we will make it. We will find that space in the corner and we will build a queer club. You get 5 queers together, they will build a queer club. During lockdown, we built queer culture online. I was involved in creating Queer House Party. Because of that, I was involved in 3 or 4 other side events that happened, some bi-pride events, some film festival events. I gave some talks at various places, but I was involved in allowing a queer community to connect up and to be online together in a way that we just needed to invent a way of being. And that continues. We have spaces. We may lose our spaces at times. Spaces may come and go. We may find ourselves on the out with the people who own the spaces. The RVT, I'm talking about you. And no, I don't give a flying fuck what Jason and John think anymore. John and James, sorry. What John and James think about me or about anything. They have made so much fucking money out of this community. You go back and you look at their books and you look at the deals that they've done. Yes, they saved the RVT in 2017 or 2015 when they saved the RVT. Congratulations, guys. But you have made so much money from this community since then, and you have not poured a single fucking cent back into that place. And now you are reaping the benefit of that, or reaping the non-benefit of that, because the queers have walked away and you suddenly do not have anything midweek. You've got maybe, a charity night every now and then. You're barely running Friday, Saturday and Sunday. You are, and I am laughing. You have a great building. You have an old building. You have a historic building. And you think we should be grateful that you allow us in the door? No, fuck you. Fuck you so fucking hard for that attitude. You should be welcoming us in the door, saying you are the people who create these spaces. You are the young people who put the effort in to build these spaces, to build this community, and we will give you the space to be. But no, you just wanted to take as much fucking money and look down your nose at us every single week. Well, do you want to know what those kids have done? Those kids have gone and they now fill the Clapham Grand. Fill the fucking Clapham Grand. 700 people. That's what? Four nights at the RVT? 700 people. 700 people in one night. And these kids, these young queers are putting on these shows and they're getting a new community built there. And that is amazing to be part of. And this is what so frustrates me of people my age and older who have this entire like, oh, but we did it in the 80s and you should be thanking us. No, we should not be thanking you. You've lifted up the ladder. You've put in ceilings. You've stopped people from being able to access spaces. You don't listen to people saying, hey, the space needs to be more gender neutral. It needs to be more accessible. It needs to have tech that fucking works. It needs to be welcoming to more people. No, you say, I want the space to be for people like me, and you just leave it at that. And you're missing out. You are missing out on the vibrancy and the wonderfulness of the young people. And by the way, I'm also going to have a go at the fucking divine as well. You made a choice to make your space inaccessible. You made a choice to move to an inaccessible space. Own it. Own that. Don't keep telling us, oh, we'll try to do something. No, own that you did that. You made that choice. And just own it and say, yes, we made the choice to basically fuck anyone who needs accessibility. Our venue isn't accessible. Sorry. Yes, I know that you create a space where people can come in and run nights and they can fill downstairs, which is what? 100 people, 150 people if you're lucky. And it's slightly bigger than the old downstairs at the Glory, and it's slightly more accessible because the stairs are, well, there's still stairs. They're a little less rickety, and there's toilets downstairs so somebody like me doesn't have to fight their way upstairs to go to the bathroom. But still, you could have figured out how to put in a lift. No, you decided not to. You made that choice. Own that choice. Own the choices that you make. There are spaces that do their best to try to be accessible. They may not be accessible in other ways. Colour Factory, I don't know how could ever get Miggy or anyone who doesn't have absolutely amazing I was going to say working legs, but that's not quite what I wanted to say. Who can't climb like 3 kind of rickety stairs up on that stage. But at least in the audience, it's accessible. There's an accessible toilet and there's a flat entrance and you've got some stair lifts in there. I mean, oh my God, that's all that we're after is just a lift to get you up and down the stairs. That's it. Figure something out. Write funding applications, do something. Don't just say, oh no, we just couldn't do it. We just couldn't figure it out. Yes, you fucking well can. We figured out how to make Queer House Party accessible when we were playing around with Zoom. And trust me, as the person who had to figure that out, that wasn't as easy as it sounds. Zoom's not the most accessible technology, especially if you have any sight difficulties. If you're visually impaired in any way. Zoom does some crazy shit. It moves the icons around, for one, when you move from participant to member and back again. And we tried a couple of different ways of doing audio description lines. The easiest way was just run a second phone line. Just run a second audio description line via the phone, set up a QR code to auto-dial it, bish bash bosh, it's done. There's a URL and a QR code and you just go to that and you've got an access line. It was once you thought about it, it becomes really easy. Now, here's the amazing thing. I would give that free, and I have been giving it free out to anyone who asks. I've got 2 of those lines and I've been giving it out to anyone who needs it for their venue or anything like that, or for their online things. Nobody's come to me in like 2 years. Does this tell me that they're all meeting visually impaired access people's needs? No, it tells me they're fucking not. It tells me they're not putting the effort in. Nobody's putting the effort in. I've got the technology. Nobody's come and asked me for it. It tells me that nobody's doing stuff online that needs accessibility, or more than bloody likely, they're doing stuff online and just haven't thought about how to do accessibility. Maybe even amazingly, somebody else has gone, oh, we can do a second line. we can put a second line in and do access that way, which I kind of hope somebody's done. And I know this is a slightly ranty, slightly angry one, but I'm angry at queers of my age who are being isolationist, who are turning around and basically lifting up the ladder away from young queers. That's not what we should do. That's not what the queers in front of us did. That's not what, and okay, I say this knowing that most of the queers who kind of created spaces when I was a youngster, created the spaces that allowed me to go in. There's a number of them who have turned out turfy. Let's just be clear about that. So I'm not praising them in any real sense of the word, because they may have not lifted up the ladder for some people, but they certainly lifted it up for me. But there are some people who were just like, hey, I did it. I got the space. I don't need to pour anything back into the community. I don't need to do shit. The community raised me up. I'm now in a higher position and I'm in an older position and I don't need to do shit for the community anymore. And I am sick of that attitude. I am just sick of it. I want to see, as older queers, as queers with money, queers who've bought their house, queers who've managed to figure out getting a full-time job. I want to see you buying tickets, even if you can't go. Do some pay it forwards. Go along and support the kids, support the youngsters who are putting on events and creating community. I went to an amazing emo prom at the Walthamstow Trades Hall, and the team who put it on did a banging job. I felt healed from that. For all the school proms that I went to and hated, to all the school proms that I never went to. And everyone there had an amazing time. It was the school prom we all wanted. Ruby Wednesday and all of the band there were just an amazing covers band playing emo songs. I could not love them more. Nat Funny, so brilliant. Lauren Dorenko, just, and I know that I've said your name slightly wrong, and I'm so sorry, but so fucking funny, so brilliant, just taking it out. Femi, just doing it brilliantly. And that's, all of those people put together something that was an amazing, really uplifting queer night. There was another night put on for the, and part of it was drag down the borders, and they were supporting an organisation that I can no longer mention because they're now considered a terrorist organisation, but they were supporting them, and it was totally brilliant night. And some of those acts there were some of the best acts that I've seen on stage. Charlie Wood doing I'm a Loser Baby and getting the audience to sing along. Oh my God, all of my... And again, I talk about being healed. I didn't see a whole pile of people there who say that they're activists, who say that they're into changing the world, who do all of this stuff, who are older like me in their 50s and 60s. And I'm in my mid to late 50s, not my 60s. I haven't quite turned 60 yet. God, I'm getting old when you forget how old you are. That's the time when you forget. That's when you're getting old, when you can't work out how old you are. I don't see those people there. And we should be there. Or if we're not there, we should be throwing money at the kids to ensure that they're able to do this and create those spaces, because there are people out there who are creating spaces, who are making space for younger queers, and they're making space in an environment that is capitalist to the extreme, that is run by generally cis gay men or cis men running a whole pile of these venues, who are making a mint out of the queers in various ways. Why are we not asking you to throw money back? Why are we letting you away with this? Well, for some people, we aren't letting you away with this anymore, because you basically fucked over a whole ton of queers and, quite frankly, die in a ditch. Actually, when I say that, you know that I mean that metaphorically, not literally. But again, also, you need to be doing more. Buck your ideas up. You can do better. Better people did it for you. And just because HIV and AIDS took a whole pile of yous doesn't mean that you get to fuck over all the younger queers. Doesn't mean that you can sit back and watch all of the trans youth die in the same way that you did. No, I may not have been to as many funerals in a week, but across the last 20 years I've seen so many people die from not being accepted. I've seen so many people just not make it through because of the way that these older queers do not buck their ideas up and help out the younger queers. They are selfish and they are assholes. And yes, I'm angry. Don't want them to die in a ditch, apart from metaphorically. Thought I'd just pop on and quickly say that. No, I did this all in one take. I just paused for a second to calm down. No, but I'm really not calm. But I have calmed down enough not to wish them to die in a ditch, apart from metaphorically. Because if you've got it and you're not lifting up the younger queers, then you're as bad as J.K. Rowling and the rest of the fucking TERFs.